Hey, I'm Alex from Lumsden Agency. Welcome back to the monthly catch-up. I'm here with Chris Sherry, Director and Chief Auctioneer of Sherry Auctions. Chris, interesting times right now. I think there's a lot of opportunities for people that are ready to move. There's a lot of movement in the market. One of the conversations that I'm having with a lot of the people is we wish we bought in the 80s, we wish we bought in the 90s, we wish we bought in 2012. I just feel like, are we going to one day look back and realise that this was the ultimate time to be buying property in Sydney? I guess only time will tell. You work around a lot of Sydney. Tell me what you're seeing in the market right now.
Yeah, look, it's a really good question. And funny you bring this up. My brothers told me back in the day when I bought my first property many years ago that, Chris, just buy a property, just buy it now, because the market is always going to keep moving forward. And I think a lot of people get caught up into, well, I'm buying this property, I'm going to make money on it, rather than I'm buying it for the reason that I actually am purchasing it. What I mean by that is a lot of people just, they get caught up too much in what if the market crashes next year, or what if the market crashes next month? I just don't see it. What about thinking, I want to buy a property because I want to be closer to the school that I want to get my kids in down the track? And that's what I'll be buying for, not because I think I'm going to make money in this market or I'm going to wait for the market to crash.
We always say that marketing a property is about showing people the lifestyle that they're going to live after they've bought the property.
Absolutely.
And I guess right now for people who are ready to move, the time is now. Like, why are you moving? What's the reason behind your move? And is it to move down to the beach, to get closer to the beach? Is it to be near a school, like you said? I guess those reasons are a lot more powerful than anything that might happen over the next few months, or the cycle, I think, has shortened so much more in the property timeline. There's no sort of 10-year cycle anymore. We can go from the top to the bottom in a matter of months and then back to the top again these days. There's so many factors.
Well, we've just seen that, right? With the government and everyone saying that we're in recession. Yet I was still out there calling auctions midweeks, also on weekends. And did I see it? I couldn't see a recession. I couldn't see that. I still can't see that on the weekend. I still can't see that in my midweek auctions. So I think you're 100% right. You've got to buy right now if you want to purchase, and look at purchasing for the right reason. It doesn't matter that there's a few registered buyers or there's not going to be anyone there registered. You really just got to decide that's the property you want for the right reasons and just go with it. I think, as you touched on, the cycles are out the window. They're gone. You've got to just look at clearance rates as a guide for you. You've got to look at all your research in regards to the area, the percentages of properties coming on. We're seeing in different pockets of the marketplace, tightly held areas, not many properties coming on. Other areas, we're seeing an influx of properties. So you've got to look at the research and do the research for the area that you're looking at buying in, and then make that decision rather than worrying about what the market's going to do. Because when we think about it, or you think about it too long, you've missed the market.
Miss it.
How do you know when the market has peaked? Well, you know that when the prices have started going up and you've missed it.
Exactly. Yeah, you only know the bottom when it gets there, right?
Absolutely.
When you start going back up.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about auctions. Talk to me from a buyer's perspective. What are some tips that you can give to buyers? I was talking to somebody the other day who said, "Oh, you never want to put the first bid in." Yeah. I said, "No, I always want to put the first bid in because everybody has that attitude,
Absolutely.
From an auctioneer's perspective, what do you see?
Yeah, look, I think what I'm seeing out there is a few buyers are holding off from the first bid. I was just mentioning to you off camera, I was down in Culburra Beach on the weekend, and our strategy going into that, because South Coast is a little bit different market to Sydney, and you've got to have the right strategy for the right auction. I said to the owners of the property, I said, look, we've got 5 registered, but I don't know if they're going to place this bid. I don't think they're going to. They're wise buyers. So we had a strategy to put a vendor bid in, give it 30 seconds or so. They didn't place a bid. We started the auction, middle of the guide of where they were quoting, started it at 850,000, started going in 10s and 5s and 1s. We sold 111,000 over reserve. The person that came in as a second bid, they didn't successfully purchase the property, but the buyer that was coming in and putting some strong bids in throughout the auction was deterring the other buyers, and they were successful. So my tips for the buyers would be, go in with a limit, have that limit in place, just bid strong, bid hard, and bid in odd numbers. Me as an auctioneer, I trained and I add numbers up. A lot of auctioneers are out there and they may not do the same as what we do at Sherry Auctions. So the smaller denominations that people get caught into, we love that as an auctioneer and an owner, because that's going to equate to a lot more money. Because it's only an extra 1,000, they all add up. But if you come in hard and you keep going strong all the way through that auction, with a 25 or a 10 or a 20, whatever it may be, you're going to deter the other buyers because they're going to start thinking, this guy's not going to give up or this girl's not going to give up.
Just going to keep going.
It could have been your last bid, but everyone thought, no, I'm going to buy this property and they're not going to let me buy it. So that would be the first tip, would be to go in hard, have a limit, go up to that limit, and then walk away, unless you want to give it one more shot. Don't be disappointed if you don't buy the property. There'll be another one coming up very shortly.
So then let's flip it. Talk to me about getting vendors ready. What should vendors be thinking about in the lead up to an auction? If they're a little bit uncertain about an auction, what should they be looking at and what should they be doing?
Yeah, look, it's a really good question, Alex. They should be preparing and listening from an agent like yourself and styling the property correctly and preparing it. Don't do a half job. What I mean by that is making sure that you've done all the hard work, you've done the maintenance on a property, you've cleaned it up, you've done the painting, you've done the styling, you've prepped it ready to go for a big campaign. Listen to the agent, make sure everything's correct, because the marketplace we're seeing, the properties that are not 100% ready to go, buyers are picking them to pieces. You want a buyer to come through the house and you want them to go, wow, 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 nothing to spend, we want this one. That's what we're finding in a good marketplace of what we're experiencing now. Clearance rates are still very strong. We're experiencing the good properties are outweighing all the rest of the market.
You mentioned somebody that engaged you without an agent. They ran their own campaign and brought you down. If somebody else wants to do that, how can they get in contact with you?
Yep, just reach out, Google Sherry Auctions. Obviously our details are online. Everything is on our website. We've got all our videos, testimonials, profiles. Definitely would love to look after them. We look after everyone from private to residential to retail to commercial, in rooms, on sites, everywhere within New South Wales.
And just quickly, if somebody's watching now and they think they might have seen you somewhere before, where might that have been?
Why are you bringing this up? I was on The Bachelorette 2 years ago for Channel 10. That was an interesting time, but it was actually pretty cool. Pretty cool to be able to see all the production in the back end, and we had a lot of fun. Ali was The Bachelorette. All the guys going for her, and we did a bit of an auction of words of like respect and love and what that meant to the guys, and they had to bid for that. So myself and Osher were up there and we had a bit of fun. Thanks for bringing that up, Al.
No worries. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
There you go, guys. Here I am with Heartthrob auctioneer Chris Sherry, Sherry Auctions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at St Opens this weekend.